heel. Sit. Right, everyone. So in this episode today, I thought I'd cover a couple of things. So things that people ask me questions about. One is going to be about heel work, especially off the lead. And the other one is going to be sit and stay, which is what you're seeing now, which I don't actually formally teach either. So I'm going to put these two guys away, and then we're going to do a little video where we talk about those two elements. Sit, heel. Good boy. Right, so we're going to talk about two elements today. One is sit and stay, and another part is off the lead, walking to heel. Now, these are two things that I never actually teach specifically. They both come as byproducts of the drills that I do. So if you've watched any of my vlog series, you'll have noticed that I use these training leads here. They're 3mm super light cord on a simple slip lead at one end. I have varying lengths of them. And when I'm doing all my drill work, my basics, straight sends, back retrieves, lefts and rights, all the maneuvering I'm doing all the time is always with the lead on. Consequently, the dog learns no other option but to be at heel. And if you keep drilling those movements and those drills into the dog, they start to just pick that up as part of what you do. Now, the reason why I love these is especially at the beginning and the end of a retrieve, when the dog comes back to me. So for example, now, and the dog's up on my lap here, I have a saying which is left hand lead. My left hand always goes on the lead first, and then my right hand is for the retrieve. I take the right hand onto the retrieve, my hand's already on the lead, I stand up, I give the dog a little tug, and the dog's back at heel. What are you doing, Charlie? Why are you cow patting? Go on. That's what he's always been like. So at the beginning and the end of the retrieve, the dog is always back to heel. So I can start off a little tug. I can be moving around, engaging the dog with me, or walking along, making the dog sit. A lot of people will wrap the dog lead around the dog's head. They'll slip it on and off. But for me, that just makes the dog lead smart. They're very aware when it's got the lead on and when it hasn't. Because my dogs do all their early training with the leads on, whether it's retrieving or hunting, they don't associate the lead with being the restrictive force in the relationship. And so subsequently, the dog always ends up back at my heel. So after repeating and repeating and repeating, the dog naturally ends up learning to walk to heel. So I'll show you a basic retrieve. It's all stuff you will have seen me do before, but I'll do it for argument's sake. Charlie, good boy. So all the time the dog's at heel, I've got hold of the lead. I can turn, making sure the dog keeps up with me. I can use the lead to make the dog sit. I can get my retrieve out, I can throw it on the ground. If the dog was to lunge in, I'm able to stop the retrieve without trying to rugby tackle it or shout at it or knock the dog in any way. And when I'm ready to send the dog, he's going to think this is very weird. Look, I can send him, drop down, dog comes back to me in his position here. I'm going to let him hold it. That's really important, guys, letting your dog carry on holding onto the retrieve. If you're snatching it off them, very quickly makes them not want to come back or spit the retrieve out. So left hand lead, right hand retrieve, stand up, step forward, little tug, back to heel, make him sit again, and we can repeat that. So I'll do it as a back retrieve this time, so I can throw it down. Now I've got two options to turn right or left. If I turn left, I do a little tug, and I turn, I'll come back round again. And if I was going to do the other way, I can lean over. Now at that point then, if you don't have a lead on, that's when the dog's most likely to try and go for that retrieve. In which case, if you're holding the lead, you can stop them, and then you can go into the retrieve. So sit him up, tug turn into him, walk him away, sit him up. I can turn and face him, and then I can go into my back retrieve or my left or right, whatever it is that I want to do. Right. You're probably thinking, what the hell am I doing these basic retrieves for? So again, I can spend time here. First of all, my left hand goes on the lead, right hand on the retrieve, stand up, step forward, little tug, dog is back to heel. And because I do thousands of retrieves like this, and because I have the same start and finish, the dog learns nothing other than to walk to heel. So suddenly I can let go of the lead, I can throw my retrieve out, I can say heel, tap my leg, turn around, come round, sit up, eye contact, back, send him. Now, saying that, let me get this retrieve. Sit, Charlie, here, sit. Left hand lead, right hand retrieve, stand up, step forward. Sit, good boy. So saying that, all the time I have got the lead on, I will hold it though. I was just trying to show you for argument's sake. Now I wouldn't not have this lead on until I really believe that the dog can do this really, really well. I'm always saying to my clients, if the lead's there, use it, because one day it won't be there and you won't have the option to use it. So whilst it's there, always pick it up. Often people say, oh, I just took the lead off to see. It's like, don't do that. Just keep doing your drill work. You repeat, you repeat, you repeat, and it will slowly come. Now, just put this away a second. One of the things about training these dogs is an incredible amount of repetitiveness. If you're a tennis player, you're going to be a better tennis player the more balls you hit across the net. If you can hit one every 3 seconds, as opposed to a man who's only hitting one every minute, you're definitely going to become a better player. It's the same with the dog. So it's repeat, 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 repeat. Hence why I like a strong retrieving dog. Gives you lots to work with. So as I said, all my work that I'm doing is with this training lead on. Sometimes I have a really long one, especially if I'm doing sit, especially if I'm doing much longer back retrieves, lefts and rights, etc. I was trying not to say back then because he might have tried to run back. But you saw there, as soon as I stand up, the lead's always on for me to use. I can really make my point, get my dog doing what I want. A lot of people I see, their dog comes back with a retrieve, does 3 laps of them before they take control. You take the retrieve off them, and the dog does 3 laps of them again. All can be bypassed by just having a little training lead on. I'm a massive advocate in this. In my puppy packs, by the way, that I sell with my puppy leads, etc., I also always put a retrieving lead in. So that you've got one of those to get off with straight away. So anyway, this leads on nicely to my next part, which is the sit and stay. So as I said, on the heel work, I never formally teach the dog to walk the heel. It literally comes with all the work that I come. One day I just can go out, I don't put the lead on, and they just do it because they know no other way, okay? This leads on to my next bit, which is about sit and stay. I never teach sit and stay to my dogs personally. Again, it's something that comes as a byproduct, and I'm going to show you what I mean. So for example, sit. If I'm doing a back retrieve, and I've got to this point where I can, and he's got a retrieve behind him, and I do this quite early on. As soon as I've got them sitting and they can do a straight retrieve, I'm doing a back retrieve. Now, if my dog wants to go back and get that, okay, I can slowly work my way away from him because he doesn't want to come towards me. And normally, because at this point, if I was still early teaching this, I would have a much longer lead on, so I could stand all the way back here and still keep hold of the lead, just in case he tried to go for the retrieve like that. Sit. You think this is a bit weird, don't you? Okay, Charlie, sit. But he doesn't want to move from that spot because he wants to go and get that retrieve. So I haven't got to worry about him creeping towards me, because the magnetic force of that retrieve behind him is pulling him back. Okay, so once I've got a straight send, heel, 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 sit. Once I've got a straight send, you've seen this in my videos if you watch either of Billy's or Charlie's vlogs. As soon as I can do a straight send from there, I'm doing a back retrieve, sit, back. As soon as I'm doing that, good boy Charlie, good lad, good lad. I know this is a bit weird for you. You don't understand why you're doing puppy stuff, do you? Stand up, step forward, let dog sit heel. Okay, sit. Because he wants to go that way, he doesn't want to come towards me. So once you're a month or 2 into doing back retrieves and lefts or rights, that dog has just naturally learned to sit and stay. I don't use the word stay, guys, by the way. If you ask him to sit and he doesn't sit, correct him for sit, not for moving. So it's just sit, there's no wait, there's no stay, it's sit. If I ask you to sit there and you get up, you're not sitting. So I'm not going to create another word for the first thing that I've asked you to do that you are not doing. So it's just sit. I use stay for your understanding. So once you're at that stage where sit, once you're at the stage, you're sort of this distance back and you're doing lefts and rights and backs and all sorts. He doesn't, there we go, proved me wrong. Bring him back on the spot. So out of context for him because he's doing such different stuff to this. But he won't want to move because he wants to go, hey. Okay, I'm not even listening to myself here, am I? Not even holding on to the lead. Warts and all that. But you haven't got to worry about training and filming at the same time and saying words that he recognizes, like, and he wants to go. This is the difficulty with it. But fundamentally, that sit and stay, if you're doing back retrieves and lefts and rights and you're using the same spot, he will just learn to sit and stay sat there until that command comes, whether it's towards you, whether it's back, whether it's left or right. So those are two things that I formally don't set out and individually teach. They just come as byproducts of all the drill work that I do. So I often get people saying to me, oh, how much training do you do? Genuinely so Charlie is about 8 months now and Billy's just over 6 months. So both just over 6 months. I've never ever taught either of them to walk to heel. I've never gone out on a session just to teach that. They both learned that as byproducts of the overall package of all the different drill work that I do. Anyway, I hope this has been useful, guys. A few little mistakes there as well. Great for you to see. I haven't done another Charlie's vlog for ages, only because most of the work that I'm doing at the moment is traveling, a lot of hunting, setting up situations. It's very hard for me to film. I might get some more real date footage in January when I want to get out with him a little bit more. I'll do another Billy's Vlogs episode soon. Don't forget to subscribe and like, guys. And if you have questions, send them to me. I will try and cover them. I'm going to try and do some episodes like this where I cover little niche individual parts. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that.